They replied to King Nebuchadnezzar. Bible says in the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verses 16, 18, up to around 19, somewhere there. Bible says, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego replied to him, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. No. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us. Listen to what they say. But even if he does not, we will not serve your gods. They tell him the God that we serve is able to deliver us. All we know, he will come and deliver us. But even if he does not, we will not bow to your gods. We will not serve your gods. Peter says, you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. You are God's special possession. The three knew. Every generation has a moment where it must decide who it will worship. There was a generation in Babylon that bowed because everyone was bowing. They looked around. They saw the crowd. They heard the music. They saw the command. And then they surrendered. But there were three young men who refused to bow. They understood something powerful. They understood that a bowed knee represents a surrendered heart. The enemy does not always begin with asking you to deny God completely. Sometimes he begins by asking you to make small compromises. Everyone is doing it. Everyone watches it. Everyone talks like that. So you can also talk like that. The enemy begins by saying, everyone lives like that. You see, everyone dresses like that. He's also putting on a bike and they are coming to church on the pulpit. So the enemy begins by telling you such things. Everyone lives like that. You can also live like that. But a child of God is not controlled by what everyone does. A child of God is controlled by who God is. Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego were not afraid of the furnace because they feared God more than the fire that was in that furnace. The question for this generation is, what will make you bow? Will acceptance make you bow? Will relationships make you bow? Will money make you bow? Will popularity and pressure make you bow? A generation that refuses to bow is a generation that knows its identity. We are not called to blend into darkness. We are called to shine. See, we are deceived in this generation. But you see, Jesus, when Jesus came, true. When Jesus came, one of the things he did, he associated with sinners. Because he came for sinners. You understand? But however much he associated with sinners, Jesus was not like them. Jesus was a burning star that brought light to them. Because every man, every sinner who encountered Jesus, they did not remain the same. But now we are in a generation where we have been taught to compromise, where we have been taught to blend into darkness. You're living with sinners, you're like them. Because I can transform this person here, and then sooner or later they will know Jesus. Wake up! We are not called to blend into darkness. We are called to shine. You cannot influence a generation you are trying to imitate. Do you understand? God is raising students who will walk differently, speak differently, live differently, and carry his presence differently. May we be the generation that says we will not bow to sin, we will not bow to pressure, we will not bow to the patterns of this world. We belong to God. The fire may come, The pressure may come, the rejection may come, but if God is with us, we will stand. Because a generation that refuses to bow is a generation God can use to change history. Jesus loves you.